Hi, and welcome to this edition of Tyrone Paulson Drives, where in this video behind me, I get to drive the brand new Suzuki Swift. But I managed to get both the manual and the auto version. The problem is I couldn't drive both of them at the same time. So I've had to go to infinity and beyond and back to the future to make it all happen. So let's roll the video and have you check out my review of the new Suzuki Swift. Welcome to the present, where I get to drive the brand new Suzuki Swift GLX manual into the past. Or the present, where I get to drive the new Suzuki GL Plus CVT. Yes, this is the same car, but not the same, as this is the GL Plus, which is not as fancy as the GLX the other me got to drive. What? Let me explain. South Africans love a good hatchback, even more than we love SUVs, especially when they are fuel efficient, affordable, and fun to drive. And the Suzuki Swift has been a crowd favorite for, well, quite a few years now. Now, in this review, we're checking out the 2025 Suzuki Swift GL Plus and the GLX version to see if it still delivers that magic recipe of value, practicality, and, well, personality. Suzuki has kept the Swift's playful charm, but has, well, sharpened it up just a little bit. And you can see it clearly here from this redesigned new grille, plus it's got these new design projector LED headlights and daytime running lights. Just gives it that extra premium kind of touch to it, and it also features a new wheel design. This is 15-inch on the GLX version. It's still compact, but the design is a lot more modern and sporty. Not like the previous gen was bad looking at all. This just looks a lot more fun, more posh, even a bit more grown up. Kind of reminds me of the old Mini Coopers from back in the day, which is kind of exactly what you want from a city-friendly hatchback. The Suzuki range starts off at 220,000 Rand with a GL trim featuring a manual transmission. Then there's the GL Plus manual at 240,000 Rand, the GL Plus CVT at 260,000 Rand, and for about 5,000 Rand more, you can get the GLX manual at 265,000 Rand. The CVT version is 285,000 Rand. Standard across the range, you get the same 1.2-litre 3-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, making 60 kilowatts and 112 Newton meters. Also standard are electric windows and mirrors, aircon, rear PDC, 6 airbags, brake assist, ABS, and with excluding the GL version, the other models get touchscreen displays in different sizes, a rear view camera, USB ports, and wireless smartphone integration. Basically, for a budget car under 300,000 Rand, it has a lot of kit as standard. Inside of the GLX manual, it's all about comfort and convenience in here. I mean, the first thing that you notice is this 9-inch touchscreen, which gives you access to both wired and wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is great for your music, your maps, and even phone calls. Yeah. There's only one USB-A port in here though, and hopefully that'll be changed to a USB-C port at some point. You also get things like keyless entry, push button start, you get cruise control, and for a car this size, the thing that is a winner for me is the parking sensors and the rear view camera. That is really cool. Now, the materials in here is plastic. Yes, it's a budget car, but they feel solid, man, just the way everything is put together. Unlike a lot of other cars with a lot of plastic in, you hear the creaks and the noises. You don't really get it in here. Oh, and check this out. It's got climate control. So you push a button, it just takes care of it all for you. Other buttons you get is on the multifunction steering wheel, and it also has a little digital driver's display right here in front. But back to the infotainment system, this is very easy to use. The menus are simple to understand, and you can customize it by changing the way the wallpapers and stuff like that look. It is really cool. Now, the driver's display for me is the thing that I really like, because it's still retro. Traditional dials, which looks very good, with a little modern screen in it. But then it's got these little stalky things here that you can interact with the driver's display or the info display. which gives you stuff like time and driving data and torque and power info, G-force and acceleration info. I mean, you're not going to really need it in this car, but it gives it a cool, modern kind of feel to a retro kind of look that is convenient and just works. It's simple, basic, and I really like this interior. So now I find myself inside of the GL Plus Auto, and you immediately notice, well, the difference in trim level. Like, you see the smaller screen here in front, the steering wheel looks and feels a little bit different because it's got less controls on here, and well, then there's the obvious that it has 2 pedals instead of 3. Now, even though it does look a little more budget-like, it still provides all the basics that you need. The seats are still very comfortable, similarly to the GLX. It's good to the touch as well. I can actually see myself sitting in this car on a 1 to 2 hour drive without getting back issues. And when you get to my age, you know, over 45, anything hurts your back. The only thing that I don't really like, this car doesn't have full reach and rake. It's only got the up and down function. I don't know which one's reach and which one's rake. And so you will kind of need to find your perfect seating position, which, by the way, is a manual process. And again, it's a budget car. I mean, like, what more do you expect? Interacting with this screen, as well as the toned down version of the driver display, is still very, very good compared to the GLX. What I do like, though, is how Suzuki's now moving the entire front fascia of the Swift into more in line with a lot of its bigger siblings, like the Franks, the Baleno, and the Grand Vitara, which for me is a really, really good thing.
The rear doesn't offer much more space than before, with seating for 3, but more suited for 2. Decent head and legroom is available with 3 seat belts and ISOFIX points. There are no cup holders in the back, except for bottle slots in the rear doors, as well as no rear charging points or air vents are available. With the car being about 20mm longer, it still offers decent space in the boot at 265 liters. Not massive, but enough for grocery runs or a weekend getaway. Drop the seats and you get more flexibility.
Oh, and then you also have, well, this little guy in here. It's a biscuity size lemony cream spare wheel. I mean, if you ever need to go to Comic-Con, you can use this as a shield. But it's bloody heavy, man. I think it's maybe just there to embarrass you when you get a flat wheel, to make you go change it, because it's yellow. It's kind of broad. Okay, let's put it back. Right, let's talk about how this car feels to drive. Now, under the bonnet, as you, well, obviously know by now, you get a 1.2 litre 3-cylinder naturally aspirated petrol engine, pushing out 61 kilowatts and 130 newton meters of torque. It's not crazy numbers, but paired with this 5-speed manual gearbox, the Swift is light, it's responsive, and actually quite fun to drive. The clutch is very, very light, and the gearbox is smooth, and it just feels, well, kind of nippy when you get around town. You will, however, find yourself running through gears if you're going uphill, for example. You're going to have to shift up and down. But if you kind of, maintain your speed correctly by checking out the surrounding traffic, you should be okay when going uphill. Overtaking, that's another story. You're going to have to plan, your overtaking really, really well. But it's quite fine. I must tell you, though, I like how this car's stop-start system really works. It only engages with the car, being out of gear and your foot off the clutch. Now, I know that is normal for manual cars, but for somebody like me who doesn't really drive manual cars a lot, that's quite refreshing. Now, the claimed 4.9 liters per 100 kilometers that's, this car's supposed to get was very hard to attain for me, because I've been kind of averaging between 5.6 and 6 liters per 100 kilometers, which is a little bit higher than what you expect from this car. But I mean, still in today's climate of like high fuel prices, I think it's quite okay still. Overall, I think this is quite engaging and quite more fun to drive. I wonder what it's going to be like in the CVT version of it. Let's check it out. If you're like me and you don't want to deal with the whole hassle of shifting gears, well then Suzuki's got you covered with this CVT gearbox. Now it's not as smooth as, well, some traditional, auto torque converter gearboxes, but for city driving, it's really good. It's even really good on the highway. It gets the job done. The thing is though, unlike a lot of other CVT gearboxes that I've driven and have experienced, this feels a little bit more responsive. Dare I even say it even feels better than some of its siblings' automatic gearboxes. It feels a lot more refined. The only thing that kind of irks me about this gearbox is that it has this low gear function. And what happens is that because this shift is so smooth, you accidentally end up going into low gear and then you drive like that for a while and you can't figure out why the car's revving so high. Yeah, I really don't know why it needs a low gear, but it's there. The one thing that does impress me though, it's got this little button on the side here. It's like a sport button. And basically it's like a traditional overdrive function or overboost. When you hit it, it just drops the rev a little bit and you're able to then just accelerate a little bit more, and it somehow just feels a little nippier. And I tend to find myself driving in that the whole time. Listen, it holds the gear a little bit longer, it feels a bit more responsive when doing that. But it's best that you only use it on, well, going up a hill or needing to overtake a little bit. I think that's probably going to be the best times to use that. The big plus of this car, obviously, is its fuel economy. Now, it's claimed between 4.7 and 4.8 liters per 100 kilometers. I've been averaging between 5 and 6 in this auto version. But then again, I pull off putting the car in the wrong gear, like low gear, and like you heard, I keep driving it in this S mode. But on a real though, I think this car, the way it drives really, really well. It doesn't matter which, it doesn't matter which version you choose, which trim level you choose, even the gearbox or not. It's a really, really good car to drive and to live with. And because you got this S button. It's not a performance button. It just makes it a little bit better. But yeah. But don't use it all the time. Yeah. I like this car. It's a very, very, very good option. A budget option, but very, very good. So, should you buy the Suzuki Swift? The answer for me is a definite yes. If you want a reliable, fuel-efficient, decently spec'd hatchback that's easy to drive and easy to run, then absolutely. Now, the manual, for me, is the one you would go for if you enjoy driving, be more involved. But if you just want an easy daily commute, the auto makes a heck of a lot more sense. I would personally choose the GLX Auto because of the trim level. I like the kind of fanciness it gets and the extra stuff, and because I don't like changing gears, especially with the Cape Town traffic we're experiencing nowadays. And well under the 300,000 Rand mark, the Swift in both the GL Plus and GLX is one of the best value for money hatchbacks in South Africa today. And in my opinion, deserves to be at the top of the list in the budget car category. Let me know in the comments below. Did that just rhyme? Okay, just let me know which one you would choose. Would it be the manual or the automatic? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more car reviews from Cape Town, South Africa. Until next time, drive safely and see you on the next one.